The friends that were really my friends, they still think I'm just Daeg the dork.
Like, I've been watching the show, and you're kind of, you're a bitchy queen.
If you saw Will Smith's hit movie Hancock this summer, then you saw my guest today in a very memorable role. Actor Daeg Faerch is here, and later in the show, Ironman Brendan Brazier, author of the Thrive Diet, will join us, and Micah McCain from the hit show Workout on Bravo. Great to have you here today, Daeg.
Nice to see you.
So I was watching that movie real carefully because I knew I was going to be interviewing you.
Yeah.
And there you were, and you learned a very valuable lesson. There are a few things you don't say to Will Smith.
Yeah, especially Will Smith as a superhero.
That's right.
Yeah.
Such as?
Calling him some pretty nasty words.
I guess we're going to edit this for YouTube or something, but you called him something.
Yeah.
Okay. And you called him it twice.
Yeah, I think more than twice. Yeah, more than twice. Yeah, 4 times.
Oh, was it? Okay, so, and then the 4th time, the consequence was you got...
thrown up into outer space.
Launched into orbit.
Yeah.
And I loved it. That had to be one of the most memorable scenes of that movie, I think, just because...
It was really fun.
Yeah, then I thought, how cool, I got to meet this kid. So.
Yeah.
Now, I read somewhere that they hoisted you on a crane. Is that how they did this?
Yeah, there was this whole harness set up, and it took like a whole day to just get the whole working thing done, to figure out how fast I'm going to go up, and I had to get worked into it. It was really cool. There was these 2 big cranes attached to me. It was
So
cool.
you thought it was cool?
Yeah.
Your mother was probably freaked out, like thinking, is he going to get killed or something? Or
Not really.
No? Okay.
No.
Because, at first I thought, well, maybe was it CGI or something, but I was actually surprised. But they actually did have the crane. And
Yeah, they did.
And did you have to do it a lot of times?
I had to do it about, a lot of times, I'd say.
Would you do that again? Did you build a crane in the backyard?
Oh, yes, I would so build a crane in the backyard. That would be so much fun.
Branch out into stunts or something, huh?
Yeah.
And of course, what was it like working with Will Smith? Was he pretty cool to work with?
Oh, he's a really nice guy. I mean, he's got everything he needs to be really nice, just caring, loving guy. He's really cool.
And how long did it take you to film that whole thing? Were you just on the set of?
About 5 days.
5 days?
Yeah.
Really? And that shows you too how involved, because it's, a couple of minutes in the movie, but it takes 5 days to do it.
Yeah.
So, and you had, but you've known all along you wanted to be an actor, and this just.
Oh yeah, before I was born. Yeah.
I love that quote. Before you were born, huh?
Yeah.
And working with Will Smith, and when you're, just still before you've even graduated, that's something that a lot of people would like to do who later in life and still haven't done. So.
Yeah.
And I noticed earlier before the show in the parking lot, one of your fans saw you and recognized you from
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah,
You were the young Mike Myers.
Young Michael Myers, yeah.
Do you get recognized like that a lot?
Sometimes, yeah.
Should I give away your defense? Am I telling too much if I hear that you deny that it's you usually?
No.
Maybe I'm saying too much here. Okay. But what was it like? The difference between a Will Smith movie and the horror film, was that
Well, the first horror movie, that was like it was really fun, because I was pretty much the lead for half of the movie. So I was working for like 2 months, so that was a big difference. But they were both the same, because I'm acting. It's really fun to do, and the food on movies is amazing. Yeah.
See, and by the way, you're vegan. Or vegetarian.
I used to be vegan for about 9 months.
So how does that work on the sets, though? Because it's not vegetarian on the sets.
If I ask, it can be, and if they don't want to go with the flow, I could bring my own stuff. Just get something that's not meat there.
Because I was always going for the donuts and the sweets, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I guess
that's the stuff to hit on.
You're more disciplined in that.
Yeah.
So now, since we have Brendan on later, who is vegan and raw food and the athlete and everything, do you work out or exercise or train? I know you're pretty young, but do you?
24-hour fitness. I go there about 3 times a week. Get my heart rate going a bit. Yeah.
And so, what are your plans for after graduation? Obviously, you already want. You want to be an actor.
I want to be a famous rock star. I'm a drummer, so that'd be cool. Yeah.
So rock star and a movie star, both.
Yeah.
And are you planning to go to college or anything like that? Do you know, or is it too soon to?
Oh, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to be a high school. No, I'm kidding. I want to get my doctorate degree, and yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you want to study?
Architecture, music, in that area.
Well, maybe you can fit the acting in or the music on the side.
Yeah.
If you've got all those things going on. Now, in addition, okay, so already got parts in 2 hit movies.
Yeah.
You wrote your own screenplay at age 8.
Yes, I did, and it's called Duel.
Duel?
Yeah, it was a short film.
And what's that about?
It's a vampire pirate movie, and the main character has a split personality.
A split personality.
Yeah.
So you like playing the split personality? Is that fun?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was cool.
And so you got the horror film and the split personality, and do you like being the good guy or the bad guy?
It depends. If one of them has powers, I'm obviously going to go to that one because I love like the whole supernatural or mutant type thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe X-Men or X-Files or one of those.
That would be fun.
But in addition, we're going to be doing an episode of Pushing Daisies.
Pushing Daisies, yes. I'll play a young German kid in there.
Young German kid. And you're a good guy or bad guy or anything?
I'm kind of like a bully.
Bully.
Yeah.
Aha.
To Ned.
Also a throwback to the Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
And then I know you did a short for Monster Piece Theater.
Oh yeah, and I guess that's going to be in there. It's going to be like an anthology of horror movies. So.
And what's the piece that you did? Or I mean, if you can say it.
It's a different. It's a version of a classic fairy tale.
Oh.
Yeah.
With a horror twist.
Oh yeah.
Of course, actually, some of those, the original ones, the grim.
Yeah, they're pretty, horrible.
So maybe you just go back to the original version, and now, but I understand though that may be developed into something bigger as well, into a full-length feature. You may be doing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
So, but is that still in development, as they say, or do you know? I mean, is that definite, or are you still?
I'm pretty sure that's definite. I think, but I mean, I'm not sure.
Okay.
My mom and my people do that stuff.
Okay. And then also, I think you're doing something called Campfire.
Campfire. That's the one that I submitted the short film to.
Oh.
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, you have so many projects going on.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard
it
time
gets
keeping
me
them all
confused
straight here.
too.
So,
Yeah.
now, so somehow on the side you managed to fit in Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts, yes.
Now, is that a little bit different since you get to play the bully in the movie? You get to be Boy Scouts in real life? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun working with like the woodworks and like just going on camping trips. It's fun, but archery.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're good with the bow and arrow and.
Yeah. At least I think I'm good. That's what people tell me. I mean.
You hit the mark.
Yeah.
And not the people.
Close enough. Yeah.
Did you have like a lot of merit badges and all that kind of stuff?
I have a few.
A few.
Yeah.
I never earned as many as I should have, but
Yeah, me neither.
eventually I dropped out.
Yeah.
But that's another show. So, how do your like friends and classmates did they have any reaction to all this now that you're?
The friends that were really my friends, they still think I'm just Daeg the dork, the klutz. But I mean, there are some people that weren't like necessarily too nice to me, that are trying to bond with me now, and I'm like, psh, I know what you're doing.
So yeah, you get a lot of new friends when you hit it big in the movies.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with everything. Can't wait to see what you come out with next. And are you going to do the next Halloween, or they're probably going to do another one of those? Well, I guess he's already grown up now, right? Unless they do flashbacks or something. But
I would really like to just do maybe a movie all about young Michael.
Ah.
Yeah. So whoever makes the movie, think about that.
See, you heard it here first, and yeah, and they got the whole franchise going, so
Yeah.
why not? So,
Might as well.
well, thank you very much, Daeg.
you.
I look forward to watching the movies. We'll be right back with Brendan Brazier. And we are back. Joining me now is Brendan Brazier, author of The Thrive Diet. Great to have you here today, Brendan.
Oh, thanks, Greg.
So I should say, the reason you're here is I heard from your fans on YouTube, and they said you should have Brendan on the show, and so you were nice enough to come and join us. So thanks everybody on YouTube for the suggestion. And they tell me you are one of the few. Well, first of all, you were in the Ironman competitions in Canada, and won some of those. But you are one of the few, what I would say, plant-eating athletes. Like you're vegan, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But you're an athlete.
Yeah, and I did Ironman triathlons professionally for 6 years, from
6
'98
years.
till 2004,
And how'd you do?
it got better each year. It started off, I was 21st, and then I was 14th and 11th and 8th, so I kept improving, so that was always encouraging to me. And And
because those, I mean, you're running, swimming, biking.
Right, yeah, Ironman triathlon, it's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and then a marathon, so 26.2 miles, so a lot of training. It's a full-time job. Like when I was doing it then, it was 40 hours a week. That's all I was doing.
Training all the time.
Yeah.
And you also won 2 ultra marathons?
Yeah, I won the Canadian 50 kilometer ultramarathon championships twice, and 50 kilometers, for those who don't know metric, is about 32 kilometers, or 32 miles.
Now, it was part of your preparation or training for these that you came up with your plant-based system?
Yeah, exactly. I started off when I was around 15, knowing that I wanted to be an athlete. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I just really enjoyed being athletic, and most kids at that age are kind of sick of doing school stuff, and I just wanted to run, and I really enjoyed biking, and then I started liking swimming, so I thought, oh, if I could be a professional athlete and just do that full time, that would be amazing. That would be like a dream job, exactly, make a career. And then I realized that obviously I'd have to train a lot, and I could train more if I could speed my recovery. I could get my workouts scheduled closer together. So then I started focusing on recovery, and I found that about 80% of nutrition, or about 80% of recovery, can be attributed to good nutrition. So that's what I focused on, is nutrition. And I wasn't interested in food or eating or nutrition.
Oh, you weren't?
No, I was just...
I am, a little bit, but yeah.
Well, that was the thing, is that I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in what it could give me. It could give me quicker recovery, and then it could give me the career I wanted and the lifestyle I wanted. It could give me lots of energy and make me feel better. Not that I felt bad, but I thought that I could get better.
Sure. Well, you say, first of all, a lot of people focus on the training and not the recovery, and then, but an important part of the recovery is the diet and everything that you came up with. So what did you learn? What did you come up with? Your theory was that this was really a better way to do it than just eating meat, and or a lot of people always think protein. I don't think athletes. In fact, I keep referring to this interview, but when I interviewed Herschel Walker, he told me that he eats a lot of salads, and he said the same thing, actually. Like people say to him, where do you get the protein from? And he said, well, he wasn't going to worry about it. He just, came from somewhere. And he said, he wasn't going to stress about it, because he said stress is what kills you, or worry is what kills you.
Exactly.
And I thought it was interesting, because you mentioned stress also, that this diet was supposed to, you have what you call it, nutrition stress?
Yeah, nutritional stress, it's a huge factor. And a lot of people don't realize, but when you eat food that's refined, processed heavily, your body has to work to digest and assimilate that. And I fell into that trap. I used to eat tons of peanut butter and bread, which was high in calories, and a calorie is a measure of food energy, so you'd expect the more calories you ate, the more energy you would have, but that wasn't the case. Otherwise, people who ate fast food would have more energy than people who don't, and that's not true. So it's that your body has to build digestive enzymes, break it down, and that takes work. And so if you're spending energy to get energy from the food, the net gain of that food is going to be smaller. Therefore, what you're left with is not much. And so just switching over and eating more whole plant-based foods, I found that my energy levels went way up. I felt better, my performance went up.
But it was an adjustment at first, you said, I think, right? It was kind of hard, or you didn't feel so great, but eventually you got used to it, or refined how you...
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people don't realize, but change is stress, even if it's positive. If you're making that change, your body's got to adapt. Like it's great to run 10 kilometers, but not if you haven't run 5 first. It's that gradual progression. And it did take a while. It took a few years, and I was trying all different kinds of diets, and nothing was really working. Then I tried a plant-based one, and it didn't actually work at first. I was hungry a lot of the time. I was tired. I could never fill up. And then I found how to do it properly, and that's kind of what I based my book on, was my findings and my own personal experience and a bunch of research, of course.
Well, I wanted to ask you more about what you're eating, but I should say, though, that you had a car accident, and that's what took you out of some of the competitions?
Yeah, I was riding my bike, and I was hit by a car. In 2004, I was riding from Vancouver to Whistler. That's where I lived at the time, in Vancouver, and training for Ironman. And yeah, just one of those things, and all of a sudden my whole life changed. But
were you in the hospital, or?
No, it wasn't so serious that I couldn't do anything, but I couldn't cycle properly because my pelvis got hit pretty hard, so there was this pain down the leg, and it was a dead spot when I was cycling, so I just had no turnover there. So I couldn't race that year. But that also freed up a lot of extra time, and people have always asked me what I ate, because I knew obviously I was a high-level athlete and I was eating a plant-based diet, so I'd always get the same questions: where do you get your protein, your essential fats, your vitamin B12, iron, calcium, all these things. So then I decided to write a short book and self-publish it, and then that turned into a bigger book later, and then a publisher publishing it, and yeah, that's...
Thrive Diet. But now, do you still train or do anything athletic in that sense, but just not at the same level? Or, you know, how physical are you after that injury?
Yeah, I'm back to full health after that.
Do you still compete though, or not?
Not
really?
in triathlon. I found triathlon is one of those things, especially Ironman, you either do that or you do a bunch of other things. And now I'd prefer to do a bunch of other things. There's all these other things that interest me, and just riding around my bike for hours and hours a day, I'd be thinking in the back of my mind all these things I wanted to do, and I couldn't do them because day was getting sucked up, and then when I got home I was too tired to do anything. So it was great for 6 years, but now I'm moving on to doing other things that interest me, and I still run competitively. And
well, I should say, besides the books, you've got your protein line here, Vega, something like that, the protein powder,
yeah,
bars and all this stuff.
Right, yeah, Vega Whole Food Health Optimizer it's called. It's basically a replica of the blender drink I made for myself in the past, and yes, protein, essential fats, fiber, greens, enzymes, probiotics, all the good stuff that's healthy from whole food sources.
Now, I was wondering, you know, what you actually eat, because I know on the one hand, you know, you're vegan, which rules out meat and that sort of thing, but then you also have a lot of allergens, I think, and things like that, like wheat and soy and all kinds of. So, what can you eat when you cross out all the other stuff?
Well, I can eat soy. I don't as much as I actually used to quite a lot. When I first became vegan, I was eating tons of soy, and I didn't feel bad doing that, but I feel much better now that I've cut that out, or really, I eat it very seldom now. I eat tempeh or tofu a couple times a month, and that's about it. But I found that things like corn, for example, I had a sensitivity to corn, but never knew it. And it was 7 or 8 years that this went on, and I'd get stuffed up every spring, and I thought that it was just pollen in the air, it was hay fever, no big deal, I kind of ignored it. And then I realized that it was because in the spring I rode my bike more often, and therefore I drank more of my sport drink, and my sport drink was maltodextrin based, and that's derived from corn. So I had a sensitivity to corn, just had no idea. And I think a lot of people have sensitivities to things like wheat, gluten, corn, soy, yeast, dairy, of course, is a big one, and just don't realize it. They just kind of feel subpar a lot of the time. So I wanted to base my nutrition system, I don't know if it's the best way to put it, but the way I eat and the way I think can help other people, eliminating those common allergens. And so that's the way I based it. And I know vegetarians too who've actually built up sensitivities to soy because I have it at every meal. And now, you know, a decade later, they've got sensitivities. So.
I should say you're 6'2" and about 170 pounds.
Yep.
You have the runner's build and all that, but you can do it on the plants. So, this is Brendan Brazier. The book is The Thrive Diet. Thank you very much for being here today, Brendan.
Thanks, Gregory.
We'll be right back with Micah McCain from Workout. And we are back. Joining me now is Micah McCain from the hit show Workout on Bravo. Great to have you here today, Micah.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So I know you heard Brendan's segment. Are you vegan or vegetarian or?
No, vegan, vegetarian. No, I eat meat. Matter of fact, I had meat last night. Greg.
Last night.
Yes.
And would it be once a month you have it? How did I know that?
You know, it's not. It depends on what the occasion calls for. You know, it's if you want meat. We're talking about meat, right? I don't know if we're going on, you know, double entendres or anything. Okay, no, meat. We're actual meat. We are
just the diet.
Just
That's
the
all
diet.
I know.
Hey, you know.
I know I'm in for it now. I knew it. I knew I was in for it.
Some
but,
people, no, the meat. What I learned from all of being on Workout and all of our dieting was that, you know, you don't need all the dairy. You just get a little bit in, and then you can get it out. And I remember we moved.
But you're not allergic or anything.
I'm not allergic to any of that, and you know, meat was a thing that I didn't really need, like red meat. I still do, you know, some chicken as my protein, and I mean, really, and you know, and then also soy is really just a fake way out of dairy and meat. So you really just, it's still a supplement, you know, something that supplements those products. So, you know, I that's kind of out of my system too. Thanks for asking.
So you are on SkyCap team on
Skylab, yes.
Skylab, is that what it is?
Skylab.
You're
at Workout.
you should be on the astronaut diet. You know those little dry food packs. That
Ice
would be
cream.
the thing for you.
That's what would lead to it. Would be astronaut food, you know. But I think the packets is what I think it sabotages. If it doesn't look like it's a lot of food, I think that's what sabotages.
But doesn't it like
people.
expand if you add a lot of water or something?
I think you just eat it. I mean, if you add water, if you're in space without any gravity, you have water everywhere.
Maybe we could do that. Do they do that? Maybe they have the astronaut diet.
You know,
somebody probably
I
sells
think it's
that, don't
just
they?
Sweet and low, really, is what astronaut diet
Sweet
is.
and low.
Sweet and low in water.
That's a reason to
It's
stay on
powder.
Earth.
Greg, really.
So how much did you lose on the show? You were being rehabilitated or something?
No, on the show, no. I was just a fat guy who realized the fatter you got, the less work you get, and so I do on camera hosting.
You're an actor and host.
And I do like wardrobe styling that moved into like on camera makeovers, and so I just kind of realized gig by gig I was getting a little fuller. You know, they had to pull out a little farther, and so that's how I just got on the show. And I think I had a trainer before the show, was on the show. We worked out for about six, maybe 8 months, and then I've been with the trainer ever since, and we're just under an 80-pound weight loss.
Oh wow, 80 pounds! Congratulations.
Yeah. So it's been good. Yeah, it's been good. I'm happy, and I have.
Do you mind if we say what your weight is?
You don't want to tell? Okay. Check out my website for numerical information. No,
but you lost 80 pounds.
I still have 80 pounds, and I still really want. I have like 20 more. This tire I've got to get rid of, and then I really believe I'll be as happy as I could possibly be.
Now, is the show over with the taping, or are they still?
The show is wrapped, and the first run aired, but now it re-airs. Different times on Bravo.
But you stuck with the trainer and you're...
I stuck with the program, and I modeled my food plan after that, but I had a trainer previously before I went on the show, and so I went back to that trainer. But I still see Jackie, I still see Jesse Brune, I saw JD last night. I mean, we really created a family.
Did you work with Greg Plitt at all? Because we had him on the show before.
And so did we like Greg Plitt? What did you think?
He was very popular with his fans and would love to have him back sometime. So...
Well, that was
pretty cool.
Answer, Greg. Yes, no, he was.
We're overdue. It's been actually probably like 2 years or something.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Everybody loved him, and everybody asks about him, and it always goes.
I see him on a lot of covers. I know.
Yeah, well, now he's in. I don't read it, but the rumor is he's in Playgirl, but it's just he's not like a model.
Is that magazine you had out in the? I saw you staring at something.
I do not bring a Playgirl to interviews. A Playgirl for after interview.
After the interview.
After the interview. But they always ask, is Jackie a bitch? Is Greg Plitt that hot? Those are literally the two questions.
Well, now that you answered, I guess you're answering the second one. What was the answer to the first one?
Greg Plitt is that hot, and Jackie, I don't think she's a bitch. I think that she gets a raw deal on the show. That's what I think, and because she's inspirational, she's funny, she's compassionate. Everybody loved her, and so when you, as an audience member watching the show, you're like, oh yeah, I guess she kind of does seem like a bitch, and I could see. Well,
now, is there a difference between on the show and in real life? As far as, I mean, sometimes I hear that on the reality shows they kind of steer you a certain direction, or I mean, do you feel that they maybe want people to be a certain way or something, or? Like you're a really quiet guy in real life, but then you get on camera and they just force you to be wild and crazy.
It's very. The short answer is no. I don't. I think that everybody was how they were. I don't want to say, she's not bad, she's just edited that way. It's a new Jessica
Well, that's the other
Rabbit.
thing, too, I've heard with reality shows, sometimes they find the show or the drama after the taping, and so that's why did it look different to you when you watched it on TV
everything that happened, that would be the third question then.
You did the editing, weren't you?
I had a final approval. No, but it was, Jesse, I don't know if you're familiar with people on the show, but Jesse Brune is one of the characters one of the people cast, that was Freudian, and he was on the show, when you watch the show, he's really catty and bitchy, and he's not like that in real life. And so I even said that, I go, I've been watching the show, and you're a bitchy queen. And I'm like, he is, and he's not like that in real life. And he said, no, they make it, and they really do. He comes across that way on screen, but he's not like that in person. And so Jackie is. No, she talks in fortune cookies of wisdom, and
what was in one of the fortune cookies?
Well, what would be something that she'd say? She talks in bumper stickers, and that was more what I realized. Stickers. Yeah, where everything is like, she just goes.
What my favorite bumper sticker is? The car ahead of me had one that said, "Like I care."
Mine was my son got kicked out of the Boy Scouts for eating a brownie. That's my favorite bumper sticker. But she doesn't say things like that. Do you always have to turn it to the gutter like this, Gregory?
It's me, I know. Can't you tell? I've tried, I'm pulling us down there,
Come on now. Really brownie humor? This is what it's gone to?
Well, don't let me drag us down there.
No, I can't give you a fortune. No, but it was just like she would say a pearl of wisdom.
Pearl of wisdom.
And it would be like, oh, it's all so clear. And that's what I feel, from my experience, that's what I felt. You could see where people would get sabotaged, and if they're trying to make a lifestyle change, that's not the brainwashing talking, but if you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to clean up your diet, or you're trying to do this, it's like, oh, it's because people don't just break it down to, don't eat this because of this. Here's what you should eat because of this, and you can get muscle tone by working out, but you're not gonna lose any fat because you're not doing any cardio. You're like, oh, it's that easy? And nobody tells it to you like that.
It's that easy, and Micah's telling you. Thank you very much for being here today. Micah McCain from Bravo on Workout. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.